Today is the first day on the job for Kansas City's new mayor.
Yeah, big day ahead for Quinton Lucas. He will be sworn in later this morning at City Hall. Leslie Aguilar is live this morning with Mayor-elect Quinton Lucas. Good morning to you both. How's it going there, Leslie?
It's going well. Quinton was just telling me that he didn't get much sleep last night. A very big day for him.
Right.
You just finished writing your speech. So very exciting. Why don't you tell us, what are your plans for your first 100 days in office?
You know, we have a lot to do. The first of which is to make sure we're responsible with a lot of the projects that have already started. The airport project is one that comes up. Another thing we really need to work on is trying to make sure we're reducing the amount of violent crime in Kansas City. It's something that's been happening really my whole life. But my biggest goal right now is to make sure our communities are safer, tax dollars are spent better and more wisely, and frankly, we're taking care of some of the core infrastructure needs in Kansas City. You know, winter seems far from now because it's the middle of the summer, but that's how you get pothole season, and so we're trying to make sure we're planning ahead for that.
And you know, we just were hearing on the news yesterday from Sly James on his last day, and he was making a big deal about violent crime as well, like it was a priority for him. So what do you plan to do differently to address that?
You know, I think a few different things. First, there are a number of different services funded at KCPD that I think we need to make permanent. The social worker program, we have mental health services that come from the police department. I'd like to make those stable budget line items, not just contract expenses. One other thing that I haven't been scared to do is say that we actually need to make sure we're investing in more police officers in neighborhoods, more neighborhood policing, not just your community interaction officers, which is just a few folks, but making sure we have more folks that are kind of not walking the beat, but driving the beat in the classic way. I do think presence will make a difference long term, and I think you've seen in other cities really having a good number of officers makes a key difference long term.
Okay. And then what are the biggest goals that you have for your entire 4-year tenure?
Yeah. You know, I think more than anything, to be safer. You know, we can have all the new stadiums in the world, we can have all the cool stuff, downtown hotels, etc. But if we don't have a city that people feel safe to live in, that they don't feel safe having their families in, that's going to be a problem. Another thing I want to make sure we do is work with the public schools in our city. There are a lot of people watching this morning who might have moved out of Kansas City, Missouri, because they didn't think the educational options were there for them. I want to do whatever we can to support our public schools, all 14 public school districts in our city, to make sure that when you're making that quality of life choice, Kansas City, Missouri is at the top of the list.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us so early this morning. We're going to be out there for his inauguration at 8:30, and the other council members that are also being sworn in this morning. So stick with KCTV5 for that. But for now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, he has a busy day ahead of him and a busy term.
I was going to say, yeah, and just a busy 4 years in general. Thank you, Leslie, and thank you to Quinton as well.